Welcome crafters, Michelle here. I have 12 months of Deco mesh wreaths for you today. January through December designs, something different for every month of the year. I've also included a bonus wreath tutorial at the end. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to make them. For today's project, you're going to need a Happy New Year sign, and this is a metal sign. I'm now attaching these cable mounts. This is how I'm going to be attaching it to my wreath. And you can pick these up at any hardware store. This package, there's 10 in an count. It'll hold up to 40 pounds, so I'm not worried about the weight. And it is 1 inch by 1 inch. Now when they come out of the package, this is what they look like. So you can slide your cable tie in there on the side and then attach it. On the back it has a sticky side, little sticky pad. You remove the top layer there and then you can attach it. For the two here on the bottom, that's fine, but for this one on the top, I removed that sticky pad off the back and I'm adhering it here with the Fix-All adhesive. You can pick this up at Dollar Tree over in the hardware section. Now this is an industrial strength adhesive. This will take 24 hours to fully set up, but once it does, this will be weather resistant and you won't have to worry about that coming off. I'm going to be putting this wreath on my front door, so I want to make sure that even though it gets hot, cold, windy, and rainy, that this is going to stay on my wreath. You're also going to need some decorative mesh. Now I have this one, it's 10 inches by 10 yards and it is a regular gold deco mesh. This I did pick up from Dollar Tree. It was a closeout from Walmart. And then this one is the Polypro mesh ribbon. This one I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And this is also 10 inches by 10 yards. Now I wanted the black and gold look, and this is a black and neutral, so I wanted to add some of this to the background to help bring out a little bit more of that gold color. You're also going to need some full-length pipe cleaners and a 14-inch wreath form that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. Now if you have not seen me put together a working wreath form, I will put a link in the description box below to a short video that'll teach you how to do that. If you don't have access to the description box, you can find it in my playlist under Tips and Tricks for Beginners. You're also going to need some black and gold ribbon. I did pick up both of these from Dollar Tree. This one came out of their Christmas section and you can pick it up this year. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. 2.5 inches at 9 feet, a beautiful soft gold. And then I picked this one up from Dollar Tree. It came out of their Halloween section, and this is 2.5 inches at 9 feet. And I really like it. It is sheer, but it's black and has glitter on it. I think it'll be gorgeous in the wreath. You want to cut your ribbon into strips of 12 inches, and each roll should give you 9 pieces of ribbon. You want to cut your mesh into strips at 20 inches, and each roll should give you 18 pieces. For today, we're going to be doing the standard ruffle method. And I'm going to be using my Easy Bow Dabber to help me hold my bundles. Start at one end that is cut. You want to lightly fold under that end. That'll help with those ends fraying. And then scrunch right down the center until you get to the other end. And then same thing when you get to the other end, just fold down that edge. And I like to get mine in my bow maker here. Kind of open it up, make sure that it looks even on both sides. You're going to do the same thing with this mesh. Slightly turn under the edge. Scrunch right down the center till you get to the other side. and then fold under those ends. I really like that. I like this little bit of gold in the background because that's really going to help pull out the gold in the ribbon and on the sign. Then you're going to add one piece of ribbon, and I'm just going to alternate between the gold and the black. Now I've started to place my bundles here on my wreath, and I like to start with this method on the outside. So just open up your pipe cleaner there. And when you place your bundle, you want to place it side by side. Pull those pipe cleaners nice and tight and give a twist. Trim, leaving about a 1/2 inch, and then tuck down those ends. Just kind of lift up your ribbon and pull it towards the outside. And then you just want to lift up your ruffles here so that they kind of come together and rest on each other. Okay, I'll show you one more time. Let's see how pretty that standard ruffle is. Very nice. Good mix. I have all the bundles on the outer ring attached. Now I've moved to the center ring. Now the reason why I went through and I attached the ones on the outer ring first is because the ones on the inner ring are going to lap over the ones on the outer ring. So like this one here is overlapping. Same thing with the next one. So you open up your pipe cleaners there, grab your bundle and place it. Get that pipe cleaner nice and tight and twist. Again, you want to lift your ribbon up and pull it facing towards the outside of your wreath all the way around. Make sure to lift up your bundles so that they're resting next to each other as you move your way around. But this method gives you a very big, beautiful, thick base. And here you go. We are all done with the base. This is nice, thick, and full, and the diameter is about 24 inches. Once you have everything in, you just want to go through, make sure that all your ribbons are pulled to the outside. If you see anything that looks like it's fraying or it's coming apart, remove that. Once you have it cleaned out and fluffed, go ahead and set it aside. So here's my sign. To get this to attach to my wreath form, I just want to feed in some pipe cleaners. Now there are holes on all four sides, so you can run it this way or you can run it this way, whatever works best for you. Get it in the middle and just pull and give a twist or two. That way it's not going to slide around once you attach it. We're going to place our sign right in the center on top of all the mesh. I really like that. It stands out. To attach it, just move the mesh aside until you get to the metal form in the back, and then attach the pipe cleaners to the metal form in the back. I usually like to not tie it on too tight until I get my positioning correct, and then I tighten it down. I have my sign on and it's nice and secure. It's not going to go anywhere. Now to adorn it, I have pulled out a couple different types of picks here. I found this one at Dollar Tree in their Halloween section. I really like it. I like the black and I like that it has some glitter on it. So I have 3 of those. I have one package here of their gold cedar picks. You get 5 pieces in a package. I think these are really pretty, and these are from this year, so these are a little bit smaller than the ones that they've carried in the past, which I like much better. And then I have 3 of these picks, and I picked these up at Dollar Tree as well. These are new this year in the Christmas section. I thought those would be absolutely gorgeous. And then I also have one package of the large Christmas ball ornaments, and you get 7 pieces in the package, and I have 3 of the glittered and 4 of the soft gold. Now to place your picks, you want to cut the stems. You only need a couple inches. Play with the placement a little bit before you glue them in. The 3 black ones that I have, I'm going to place right here around my sign. I've already placed 2 of them. And I really like that. There's a lot of black in the wreath, so that's why I want these 3 around the sign so they stand out. And then the gold ones I'm going to fill in around the rest of the wreath. You also want to trim the stems on your other picks to make it easy for you to fit them into your wreath. On these, again, just add a little bit of hot glue and then go through and place them wherever you would like around your wreath. I'm going to get the rest of my embellishments glued in, and then I'll be back and show you the finished product. And here you go. Our Happy New Year's wreath is all finished. I'm really happy with the end result. I did use all of the picks that I showed you, and I did use every one of the round gold ornaments on this wreath. To me, it looks like a party on a wreath, which is exactly the look I was going for. For today's Valentine's Day wreath, you're going to need one of the heart-shaped wreath forms that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. And this measures approximately 13 inches across at the widest part here and about 13 inches from the tip to the bottom. You're also going to need several rolls of Dollar Tree mesh, some in their light pink and some in white. Each of these rolls measures 6 inches at 5 yards. I'll let you know how many rolls you're going to need at the end. And then you're also going to need some pipe cleaners cut in half. I have 1 roll of white and 1 roll of pink out. And now I'm going to scrunch the ends and bring them together. Today we're going to do my mini bubble or mini poof method. And this is just an adjustment to your standard bubble method. So you pull them together, get them nice and snug, and give a couple twists. And it's best if you keep the colors side by side. And then we're going to attach it here to one of the crossbars. give it a couple twists, and then I like to push the ends to the back. I pull them through those pipe cleaners again. This is going to help double secure it, and those ends are going to stay in the back. And then twist it down, give it a couple more twists. I pull my pipe cleaners together, and then those I will push forward. And I usually leave about a ½ an inch here, so trim off any excess. Okay, so I don't want my poofs or my bubbles to be very big. So I'm going to measure here at about 6 inches. Pinch. I think that's still going to be too big. Let's do it this way. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be about 4 inches. And then wrap your pipe cleaner around. Give a twist or two. Now we started here on the bar, on the crossbar. So now I'm going to add one between the middle bar and the outer bar. Measure again at about 4 inches. Pinch. Now you can go and measure several before you attach. I usually like to do a few and then I go back and attach them. Just makes things go by a little bit faster. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used in today's project. This list will not only tell you how much you're going to need, it will also let you know where I purchased the materials. Okay, so I have several poofs ready to go. Okay, so I have one poof. It's attached here at the crossbar, and then I attach the next one to these 2 bars. Push that up. And now I'm going to attach one here from the center bar to the inner bar. And now my next one will be the center and outer bar. And you just keep alternating back and forth as you move your way around the wreath form. I really do like using this method when using Dollar Tree mesh because you don't have to cut the mesh. Now I like it whether I use my standard bubble method or this mini bubble method. I like both of them. They give a different texture but a nice smooth and no fray base. It was funny, I went back and looked at my older videos thinking I had done several using this method and I only found one. So I thought it was time to do this method again and share it with you. Okay, so I'm about 2/3 of the way done attaching my Deco mesh to my wreath form. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about placement. Now down here at the bottom, this is the section that I started with. So I did, on this side, I did 5 bundles, 2 on the inner and 3 on the outer. I attached one here at the point so that I could accentuate that a little bit more. And then I repeated this on the other side, 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and I did just alternate. In the straight section, all you need to do is alternate between the outer 2 bars and the inner 2 bars. I placed 11 here, 11 here. In the curve section here, I added about 25 bundles. And once you're working on the curve, you want to place 1 on the outside, 1 on the inside, and then go to the outside. The first couple you'll do the same, and then you're going to do 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside, 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside. As soon as you hit that curve, all the way until you hit the crossbar. Here you're going to do the same thing you did down there. You'll do 2 here on the top, 3 on the bottom, and 1 right here on the point. that's going to accentuate this point. And then just repeat again on this side. Once you get into the curve again, you're going to do 2 on the outside to every 1 and just alternate 2, 1, 2, 1 until you get all the way down. Now I have to finish this and then I have the straight part. So 2 more rolls, 1 white and 1 pink should finish. So that'll be a total of 3 white and 3 pink to do the base. Now you can see why I call this my mini bubble method, because it's very small bubbles and you're putting several in there. And I love that I'm doing the 2 colors because you get a really organic mix, and you can see how smooth and clean that mesh is, even though it is Dollar Tree mesh. One of my favorite methods for using Dollar Tree mesh. I have my base complete and I'm really happy with the mix of the pink and the white. Now you just want to go through, just kind of separate the 2 so you do get to see both colors. And I don't really open them up, I just pull them apart so that I can see both the white and the pink. And as you pull them apart, especially in this area and this area, do your best to get it to keep the shape of a heart. Now on the back here you can see I alternated between the 2 bars on the outside and the 2 bars on the inside. Tucked all my pipe cleaners, and as you can see that keeps the back looking relatively neat. So I'm very pleased with that. Now we're going to work on the sign. Now this little cutie is what I've chosen to go on our wreath today. This actually is a garden stake that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. This is brand new for 2025. They do have 3 different ones to choose from. They have this one, they have an adorable little puppy, and they also have an envelope that has a bunch of hearts coming out of it. Any of those will work. Here on the back I did cut off the garden stake part, and I used my bolt cutters to do that. And then I just fed a piece of floral wire underneath and attached it. And here at the top they do have a little loop. It makes it easy for you to attach another piece. So I'll be attaching this to my wreath form in 2 places with floral wire. Now it's up to you to decide where you would like to place your little cherub here. I think he's so cute. You could go over to the side like that and then put your other embellishments around here. But I think I'm going to put him in the middle, slightly angled. So I'm thinking something like that. And then to get him attached, you just take that floral wire, you separate your deco mesh until you can get to the wire frame. Then you can attach it anywhere on that wire frame that you need to get that sign to sit the way you want. I have my Cupid on, nice and secure. You want to make sure to trim and tuck those ends. You don't want anything sharp on the back of your wreath. And now I do have one of these bouquets that I picked up at Dollar Tree. It's just called a bouquet of roses for $1.25. I pulled out the dark pink and the light pink, but I think I'm going to go with the light pink and not use this one. So I've just cut it down so I have the leaves and a couple roses. And I kind of want to put these a little bit around my cherub here. Be one there, be one up here. Let's see, this one with the greenery. So I just kind of play with my placement. First of all, see if I do like it. Definitely don't need a stem that long. Okay. And then I do have some leaves. I'm thinking maybe put the leaf and the rose. So just play around. Choose the color that you like the best. I like that very much. Okay, so now I'm going to work on getting these glued in. And I don't need a really long stem because I'm going to nestle it into the Deco mesh. If you have a glue skillet, you can use that, or you can just add some with your glue gun. And then when you place it, just make sure you do get into that Deco mesh so that you get good adhesion. If you're enjoying today's content, make sure to subscribe. And when the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content. And I do upload new content to my channel every week. I have my roses in. I'm happy with their placement. I think he looks so cute. And now I pull down a package here of the pink heart picks. These come in either pink or red. You can choose whichever color you want. And then to help bring out this red in his heart, I also have some table scatter in red. So you can mix it up. You can either get this in pink and get this in red, do both in red, whatever you can find in your store and whatever you like. And then on these, I'm going to cut them down. I only need a small stem. Play with my placement and then glue them in. Just add a little bit of glue to the stem there. And then nestle it into the mesh. I like that because they can kind of stick out a little bit. And then on these guys, I'm just going to glue them right on the top of the mesh. You can nestle them in just a little bit, but you want to make sure that they're going to get good contact. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest of my hearts. And here you go. I have all of my little foam hearts attached. I love how this came out. I think the little red and pink foam hearts were the perfect final addition for this beautiful Be My Valentine wreath. To get started on our project, you will need a 14-inch wreath form that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. This one happens to be a gold tone, but it doesn't matter what color it is. You're also going to need some full-length pipe cleaners. Today we're going to be using the poly burlap mesh. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, and this is 10 inches at 10 yards. And this is a really pretty bright orange. Let's set up our wreath form. Now we're going to set this up like you would a working wreath form, but we're going to skip a section. So I'm going to show you. Let's say we're going to skip this section right here, and a section is between the two crossbars. So the section next to the one that we're going to skip, you want to place a pipe cleaner or chenille stem in the middle on the outer two rings. Give a couple twists, and anything on the outside I pull to the outside, anything on the inside I pull to the inside as I attach. Then on the next crossbar you will add 2 pipe cleaners, one on the outer 2 rings and one on the inner 2 rings. I have 13 pipe cleaners attached, and here is my section that we skipped. So we have an entire section that did not get any pipe cleaners. We're going to be applying something else in this area, so we don't need any mesh here. You want to cut your mesh into strips at 10 inches. I prefer to use a rotary cutter. It gives me a really nice clean cut. And I picked this one up from Dollar Tree, and it works very well. You will need 2 to 3 pieces per bundle. We're going to be doing the curl method. The curl method is very easy. Just start on one side and slowly roll to the other. You want a nice big fat roll, but you should get a good 1.5 to 2 rolls. And then you can either use a clip to hold it. I like to use my Bow Dabra. I just kind of scrunch it here in the center and place it with the cut side down. I really love this color. It's so bright. Started to attach it here to my wreath. Now the 2 pipe cleaners here that are closest to the open section, you only want to put 2 rolls. And then as you work your way around the outside, you'll do 2 rolls, 3 rolls, 2 rolls, 3 rolls. But on the inside, everyone will have 3 rolls. That way the inside is very thick and full, and that's what you want. So this is a 3 roll. I'm going to do that on the inside here. Just get it down there nice and snug, give a couple twists, trim your pipe cleaners, and tuck down your ends. Once you start getting everything on there, it'll be nice and full. Okay, so this is 2. This next one will have 3. And then this one will have 2, and this one will have 3. And all the ones on the inside will have 3. I have all of my mesh attached. Sorry, the color's a little bright for my camera, but I'm really happy. It is nice and full, exactly what I was looking for. Our gnome is going to need a nose. And I always like to use the styrofoam gnomes. Now this one's a little bit larger than what I normally use because my gnome is a little bit larger. And I picked this up from Dollar Tree. This is 2 pieces. It's 2.8 inches in diameter. You could probably even go a little larger with the nose if you chose to. Now because this is styrofoam, this doesn't paint very well. You can paint it, it will take it, but it looks very textured, and I don't like that. So on this nose, I'm using some trouser socks that I found at Dollar Tree. This is a very neutral color. It looks like skin. You can also use an old knee-high or nylon hose, anything like that. And just take your styrofoam ball and feed it inside. You don't want to go all the way down because that has stitching. I'll go close to the bottom here. Okay, and then this has stitching, so you don't want it all the way to the bottom. Take this end and stretch it with the other and then tie it off. You want to make sure it's nice and smooth on the opposite side. Then you can trim off any excess. This is the side that you're going to be gluing and attaching down. So that's why you just need to make sure the other side looks nice and smooth. And then keep this piece for future gnome noses. You will need a St. Patrick's Day felt hat. This one I picked up at Party City. I know online it shows that Dollar Tree carries these and I guess some of their stores, but I never find them in mine, so I had to go to Party City. They had them, I think I paid like $4 or $5 for it. It is well made, it's nice and sturdy, and it's one size fits most. But it was exactly what I was looking for. Now to attach this to our wreath, you're going to need a couple pieces of floral wire. You need to cut them about 6 or 7 inches a piece. Now I want to place my hat here in my open space, and I want it to be slightly angled. Let me move out a little bit further here so you can get a better look. Okay, so I want it to be slightly angled. Now I have a little open space right here. I had one piece of the mesh left over. It was 16 inches, so I just cut it in half, so I had 2 curls because I thought I might need just a little bit to fill in, and I do. It'll be right here. And that's fine because I have that one little piece left. That will take care of that issue. So now I just need to decide where I want my hat and then where it meets my wreath. So you can see it meets it down here. So once you feel and find where it meets and you're happy with the placement, just take a pin and go down and give a little mark on the hat so you know where to come through. Find the other side. So I just put a little mark there. Now to attach my hat to my wreath form, once I have marked it where the hat meets the wreath form, you need a nice big fat needle and then push through the rim right next to the hat, like that. And then again about a ½ inch above that. And then you're going to feed your floral wire in and then twist it off. And that's what you're going to use in your 2 spots here to attach it to your wreath form. Then just give it a couple twists so it doesn't pull back through. And now you can attach it to your wreath form. And then to attach it, just use that floral wire to wrap around your wreath form, and you can do it anywhere in the wreath form that you need to get your hat to sit the way that you want to. You just want to make sure that you're attaching it in 2 different positions so that it's nice and secure. My hat is on, it's fully secure. I took the 2 pieces I had and added it right here to fill in. So I'm really happy with that. Now I just need to glue in my nose, and I want to put it right here so it's slightly under the hat, but you can see it really well. Go ahead and add a large amount of hot glue. I'm gonna make sure he doesn't go anywhere. And then nestle him in so that he is glued to that mesh. I'm also going to add a little bit at the top of the nose here so that the hat is glued down. And here you go, we are all done. I'm very pleased with the end result. To get started on our Deco mesh wreath, I'm going to be using a 14-inch wire wreath form that I picked up at Dollar Tree. You're also going to need 2 rolls of 10 by 10 Deco mesh. I did pick this up from Hobby Lobby. This is their Poly Pro mesh ribbon. This is weatherproof. 10 inches by 10 yards, regularly retails for $8.99, but you know I always purchase my mesh from them when it's on sale. You're also going to need some pipe cleaners cut in half. I have both rolls of my mesh laid out, stacked one on top of the other. And now I'm cutting my mesh into strips at 15 inches. I prefer to use a rotary cutter because I get a nice clean cut. You can also use a really good pair of scissors. You want to cut both rolls of mesh into strips at 15 inches. We're going to be doing my folded ruffle method today. I have my mesh cut into strips at 15 inches. You want to take both cut sides and bring them together. You want to overlap them by about an inch. So you make a tube. Press it down so that the overlap is in the center. You want to hold it down, start at the bottom and scrunch up to the center, and then go to the top and scrunch down to the center. Take half your pipe cleaner, wrap it around the bottom, pull that together. I like to pull it down so I can pinch and twist. I get a nice tight grip that way. Then when you open it up, it looks like a butterfly. And when you put this into your wreath, the 2 wings will come together and it will sit in your wreath like this. It gives a really beautiful textured look. Let me show you again. I have a piece of mesh cut at 15 inches, so this is 10 inches by 15 inches. You take those cut ends and you fold them over themselves by about an inch. So you make a tube, press down. You want to keep your fold in the center. Hold that down, start at the bottom and scrunch up to the center. Then start at the top and scrunch down to the center. This helps you keep everything nice and even on both sides. I place my pipe cleaner, wrap it around the bottom. And then I like to fold everything down. That way I can pinch and twist and then get it nice and snug. Now when you open it up, if it is uneven, just grab the area that needs a little and pull a little bit, and that should help you get it to even out. Enjoying today's content? Please show your support by hitting the like button, leaving a comment, and sharing the video with your friends. In the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used in today's project. Now I have some of my folded ruffle bundles made, and now I've also started to attach it here to my wreath form. And I'm going to be alternating between attaching it to the 2 bars in the center of the wreath and the 2 bars on the outside of the wreath. So the last one I went on the inside, so this one I'm going to go on the 2 bars on the outside. Just pull together nice and snug and give a couple twists. And then to help keep my back looking nice and clean of my wreath, I push those pipe cleaners forward. Fold those wings together and push your bundle over. Next, you'll go to the 2 bars on the inside of the wreath. You will be placing 8 bundles in each section, 4 on the inner 2 bars and 4 on the outer bars. I have my base complete. Look at how beautiful the folded ruffle is. You get very little to no fraying with this method. Such a pretty mix of the colors in the mesh, the pinks, the blues, and the purples. And here in the back you can see I alternated my bundles from the inner 2 bars to the outer 2 bars with a total of 8 bundles per section. For our focal point, I have this really cute little bunny decor piece. I did pick this up from Dollar Tree. This comes out of their plus section. They're just calling it hanging decor. This is the little girl. They also have a little boy, and his coloring is a little bit darker, but I thought she was adorable. So you want to remove any tags that she has on the sides and also the price tag. It comes with a hanger here, and we're going to use that to help attach it to our wreath form. So I'm just going to cut that so I can tie it onto the wreath form. Now the bottom part, I'm just going to hot glue that onto the Deco mesh. That'll make sure that the bunny doesn't shift, but this is what's going to anchor it onto my wreath form. And I do want my bunny to go kind of right in the center. I want to see mesh all the way around except for where the ears are. And when I attach this, I want to make sure I attach it to one of the crossbars. So just take the ribbon, feed it up through the mesh, and tie it onto that crossbar. So my bunny is attached at the top. Just want to work it in, maybe move the mesh a little bit. Okay, so once you have your bunny head placed, go around the edges, add some hot glue, and get that attached to your Deco mesh. My bunny head is nice and secure. And I kind of contemplated whether or not I wanted to change the bow out, but I think I'm going to leave it. I am going to dovetail the ends here on the ribbon. I think that looks really cute. Now I want to put some ribbon tails here in my wreath base. Now you can use whatever Easter ribbon that you can find that has the right color tones in it. These are the 2 that I've chosen. This is 2.5 inches. This came from Dollar Tree. This is 2.5 inches at 3 yards. It says Happy Easter. And then this also came from Dollar Tree. This is out of their plus section. It was $3. It's 36 feet at 2 inches wide. It has a pink background and all those pretty peeps on it. You want to cut 6 pieces at 12 inches of both of your ribbon. I have 6 pieces of each ribbon cut at 12 inches, and now I'm dovetailing the ends. I pull both ends together, fold them, and then I come down about 1/2 inch and cut up to the wire edge. I'm going to place the smaller ribbon on top of the larger ribbon. Find the center and scrunch. Use 1/2 pipe cleaner. Get that nice and secure. And I like to style my ribbon a little bit before I put it into my wreath. This just helps me make sure that it's going to lay the way I want it to. I'm going to do some crisscross ribbons this time. You need to make 6 ribbon bundles like that. I have all of my ribbon bundles in. I think they look really pretty and they stand out so nicely. Now I made 6 ribbon bundles. So you want to place 1 ribbon bundle in each section. I placed them rather close to each of the crossbars. That way I know I have them evenly distributed. I think that looks really pretty. Now there's one more embellishment I want to add. I have a package of the bean-shaped Easter eggs that you can get at Dollar Tree. These are the colors I don't want to use. So I pulled out the colors that I do like. I have pink, purple, blue, and yellow. I think all of these are going to complement my wreath rather nicely. And I just want to place 1 in between each of my ribbon bundles. So it should take about 6 or 7. I have 8 here in case I need 1 more. And I'm just going to be hot gluing these into place. Now these are Easter eggs. They do open, so keep that in mind. And some I'm going to glue right on top like this, and some I'm going to kind of nestle in. It's up to you how you want to place your little beans. Just make sure that you're going to get good contact with the mesh so that you don't have any problems of them releasing. Enjoying the content and want to see more? Make sure to hit the subscribe button. When the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube should let you know every time I upload new content. And here you go, we are all done. Isn't she adorable? I really like the ribbon that I chose, and I love those little jelly bean eggs. Very, very cute. She's going to look absolutely adorable on my front door. Now the ears do have wires in them, so if you want to change them, if you want to bend one over, you can do that. So however you want to style those, you can. I think they're very cute. And here on the back, on the crossbar that I have the bunny attached, I also put an additional pipe cleaner. This is what I'm going to use to hang my wreath. But as you can see, by tucking down your pipe cleaners both on your ribbon tails and your mesh, it helps to keep the back of your wreath looking nice and clean and professional. Such an adorable Easter wreath. For today's project, you will need a 5-gallon stir stick. You can pick this up at a Home Depot, Lowe's, or any paint store. Usually if you go in and you ask, they will give you one for free, but those tend to have a lot of printing on. If you pick something up like that, you may want to paint your stir stick. This one I picked up from Lowe's in a package of 3. I believe I paid $1.99 for 3, and I like it. It does have some white printing here as a measurement of a ruler, and the other side is plain. So I like these because I don't have to paint them. They look nice and clean, and I just put any print facing up and you won't be able to see it at all. You're also going to need some full-length pipe cleaners. Now if your paint stick has any writing on it, you want that to be facing up. So take one full-length pipe cleaner. I'm going to do a loop there about 2 inches, and then I'm going to do a twist. This is what we're going to use to hang our project when we're completed. Okay, and I want to put this on the back with a plain side. And wherever it is the thinnest, here at the top that comes in, you want to attach that nice and snug. That way it's not going to slide off, and it's going to hold the weight of our wreath today. After we get everything on, I'm going to go back and we'll touch up with some hot glue to make sure nothing moves. And now we're going to turn this into a working rail. So start at the bottom. You want to come up just about an inch. You're going to place one pipe cleaner here. Just try to get it in the center. Couple twists, and you want to leave those standing up. You're going to do the same thing at the opposite end. And for me, it's above where I put my hanger. Okay. Now we're going to place one of those right in the center. And then one in the center on either side. Just like that. Now in between each of these, we're going to place two more pipe cleaners. One's going to face this way and the other one's going to face that way. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used in today's project. This list will not only tell you how much you're going to need, it will also let you know where I purchased the materials. I have all my pipe cleaners on, and now I'm going to go in and just add some hot glue. I want to make sure that they don't slide around and that they stay in the position. Same thing here with the hanger. Okay, so we're going to prep our ribbon. I pulled out 5 different ribbons to go onto this swag. I have this one, faux burlap. It's 2.5 inches at 10 yards. This one right here is one of my favorites. Beautiful green background. Look at how beautiful the bees are. They actually look like they're fuzzy. And of course, I love the daisies. A little bit more daisy accent. This one's 1.5 inches. And then these two, I wanted to pull in a little bit of black, but not too much, and I thought these will work fine. I love the yellow and black, fits the bees. And this one, I love that neutral background with the different colored polka dots. So these 3 are 1.5 inches at 10 yards, and these 2 are 2.5 inches at 10 yards. I did purchase all of these at craftoutlet.com. I will have the item numbers for them in the description box below. You want to cut 6 pieces of each ribbon at 12 inches and dovetail the ends. I have one roll here of 10 inch by 10 yard, this beautiful lime green deco mesh. I really like this color. I think it's going to set off all the other colors that we're going to add on top. And I'm going to be adding a lot of ribbon and some signs on this. So I wanted to keep the base nice and plain. So to get this started, you want to scrunch the ends. And then you want to pull down and make a loop. Now this loop can be however big or small that you want. That's what's going to start it. You want to make sure that your ends are on the bottom and underneath. And you're going to start right at the top. Pull it snug and give a twist. We are going to be coming back and adding some other items later on, so you don't want to trim those off. And what we're going to do is we're going to go right down the center to the bottom here, and then we're going to come up one side, over, and then down the other. To help me measure my poofs, I'm going to be using my small cutting mat. You want to start where you attached it here. And we're going to be measuring our poofs for this at 12 inches. So pinch at 12 inches. And then you're going to take that, move down the center and go to the next pipe cleaner. And you just keep measuring and go right down the center. Okay, I'm down at the end. And now I'm going to measure again at 12 inches. And you can go to either side, it doesn't matter. But now I'm going to move over to the side here and start attaching it on the side. If you're enjoying today's content, make sure to subscribe. And when the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content. And I do upload new content to my channel every week. So I'm up here at the top, so I'm going to make a pit stop here in the middle before I cross over completely to the other side. Then trim off your mesh. You want to leave about an inch. That uses just about half a roll. And that is our first pass. We're going to fill this in with some curls and ribbon, so don't worry. This is going to be nice and thick by the time we're done. Okay, I've done the poof method here on the base. And now we're going to fill in. You want to cut what's left of your roll into strips at 8 inches. And you should be able to get 13 pieces. I was able to get 14, so I have one extra one. I'm going to be using my Bow Jabber. I like to use this machine when I'm putting together bundles. It holds everything nicely. And I do have all my ribbon ready to go. 6 pieces of each ribbon cut at 12 inches and dovetailed. So each pipe cleaner is going to receive a curl and some ribbon, and I'm going to be doing 2 different ribbon bundles. So for your curl, you just want to roll it up. You need to make sure that you're getting at least a good full roll and a half. And you don't want the ends to be sticking out. Take your seam side and place that down. Now if you don't have a bow maker, you can always use one of the pink clips from Dollar Tree, or if you have good hands, you can hold it in your hands. Let's see, for this one we're going to go. Okay, so for one bundle, I'm going to do the plain yellow, the polka dot, and then the daisy on top. And you take that and place it in each pipe cleaner. Give a couple extra twists. You want to leave about a ½ inch and then push those pipe cleaners down. And then you're going to want to lift up your ribbon. And I just like to kind of separate mine out. And I like to do kind of a crisscross. So I like to lift up, curl the ends out, and kind of separate. So it looks like that. Okay, and then our second bundle. Again, we're going to have a nice curl. And this one I'm going to do my beautiful bee ribbon with this to accent. Right down the center. Work your way all the way down the center and then up both sides, alternating on your ribbon bundles. My base is complete. I have all my curls and my ribbon in. I went through and fluffed a little bit. There's a few more things I want to add, so I'm going to do the final fluffing after I add everything. I found these adorable little gnome bees at Dollar Tree. They had 4 different ones to choose from, and you could get these in wind chimes, in a hanging sign, or in a garden stake. So hopefully you'll be able to find them. And these are the 2 that I chose to go on the swag today. And these both came as wind chimes. So they had the little bell at the bottom. So they already have a hole in the bottom, and at the top I removed the hanger and the bell. You want to replace that with some floral wire. I get this from Dollar Tree. I prefer the silver because it pretty much disappears. So I've added that at the top and the bottom. I've left it nice and long to make it easy for me to attach these to my wreath. Now I want to put him towards the bottom on one side and then her up towards the top on one side. And to get these attached, I'm going to be taking my floral wire, feed it through the mesh until I can get to my paint stick in the back. And I'm going to attach it to my paint stick. If my paint stick isn't in the right area, then I will attach it to the bundle on the side. But you can attach it wherever you need to get that sign to sit where you want it on your wreath. I have my 2 gnome bees on, and I'm really happy with that. I think they look so cute. Now there's just 2 more elements I want to add. I have 2 stems here of these daisies that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I like those. I'm just going to be pushing the greenery up and then leave a couple inches there. And then I'm going to be gluing them in throughout the wreath. I don't know if 1 stem is going to be enough. I pulled out 2. I'll let you know when I'm done how many you're going to need. And then I'm also going to add a handful of these little bees. Now these came in packages from Dollar Tree. They had them last year. I haven't seen them in the stores yet this year. Hopefully they will get them in. But I am going to add a handful of these. You can also find these, I believe, online, and I think Walmart also has little bee buttons. You can go that route as well. Once you find your placement, just add a little bit of hot glue to the stem And then you want to make sure that you get it nice and nestled right on down into the mesh. You want to make sure it gets good contact so it stays where you put it. Sometimes I kind of push them in so that they're actually skewer into the Deco mesh. I'm going to add in my final embellishments and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. I have all of my embellishments on and I am very happy with the end result. It is so bright and cheery. And as you can see, I added my daisies and some of those cute little bees throughout. Just a little hidden surprise for when you walk up close. Absolutely gorgeous. To get started on our butterfly wreath, you're going to need a 14-inch wire wreath form. You can pick this up from Dollar Tree. It doesn't matter what color it is, whatever you can find. You're also going to need 2 rolls of the jute colored Poly Pro mesh ribbon. This is weatherproof, 10 inches at 10 yards. You can pick this up at Hobby Lobby. It regularly retails for $11.99, but about every 2 to 3 weeks they put their mesh on sale. It's either 40 or 50% off, and that is when I stock up. You're also going to need some pipe cleaners cut in half. I have both rolls of my mesh laid out, one on top of the other. This makes it easy for me to cut and quick work. You want to cut your mesh, both rolls, into strips at 15 inches. I prefer to use a rotary cutter, but if you have a good pair of scissors, that will work too. The rotary cutter I'm using today, I picked up from Dollar Tree. I like their rotary cutter. It's inexpensive and it usually lasts me about 6 months. I have my mesh cut at 15 inches and I'm starting to put together my bundles. So you want to take the 2 cut ends and you fold them over themselves by about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Make sure that the both ends are lined up. Push down. You want that folded part right in the center. Start at the bottom and scrunch up till the center. Start at the top and scrunch down just like you would on a standard ruffle. Grab that. Take half a pipe cleaner. You want to wrap it around the bottom. All of your cut ends and everything is folded in on top, so that's what you want at the bottom. So I just pull my pipe cleaners together. I like to pull everything down. That way I can get a nice tight grip, pinch and twist. Then you kind of open it up. I think it looks like a little butterfly. If one side is tighter than the other, you can just kind of grab and slightly pull till they're more even. That's what it looks like. Now when you put it into your wreath, it's going to fold up like butterfly wings and it'll sit like this in your wreath. I'll show you one more time. Now I have one section on. Look how nice and thick and full that looks, and I love that smooth but textured look. Now in between each section, and a section is between the 2 crossbars, you're going to be placing 8 bundles. Now I'm placing them a little differently than I normally do. I am placing one on the 2 bars here in the center and then one on the 2 bars on the outside and alternating as I move through. So 4 will be on the 2 bars on the outside and 4 bundles will be on the 2 bars in the center. I did this because I want my base here to be nice and wide and really thick. Okay. So you just take your pipe cleaners, you feed from the front to the back. pull them together, give a good twist or two. And then I like to pull my pipe cleaners together, and then I push them forward. You won't see them from the front, and it keeps the back looking clean. And then slide over your bundle. Okay, so that one I put on the 2 bars on the inside, so this time I'll put it on the 2 bars on the outside. And just when you push it over, make sure the 2 wings are put together and slide over. Continue adding your bundles until you get 8 bundles per section. And here you go, the base is complete. Look at how beautiful my folded ruffle method is. You get little to no fraying with this method. Absolutely gorgeous. I love how thick and full, and I love all the texture that you get. I found this beautiful metal monarch butterfly at craftoutlet.com. This was $5.75. It does come with a little hook here to make it easy for you to attach it to your wreath. And I'm just going to be using a pipe cleaner. Give it a couple twists, and then you can attach it onto your wreath. Just take the pipe cleaners, feed it down through the mesh, and attach it to the frame in the back. Now I'm going to be placing my butterfly here a little off center on the side, and I want it to slightly angle as if it's flying away. My butterfly is attached. I'm very happy. I have it snug so that it doesn't twist or turn on me. And now I'm planning on putting a nice large bow up in this corner with some long tail, so we're going to work on that next. I'm going to be using my Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I really like this machine. It helps me a lot, especially when I'm making large bows. I have arthritis in my hands, and it makes it difficult for me to hold a bunch of ribbon, so this holds it for me. You're also going to need some full-length pipe cleaners. And this is the ribbon that I've chosen for our bow today. All of these I picked up from craftoutlet.com. 1.5 inches at 10 yards, $4.95. This gorgeous monarch butterfly, 2.5 inches at 10 yards. This one was $7.95. 1.5 inches. This beautiful orange. It has a little bit of glitter in it, which I like, but not a lot, and that's $4.75. Absolutely beautiful ribbon. We're going to start here with our butterfly ribbon. And I'm going to, let's see, measure my tail here out at 12 inches. Pinch and twist. Now with this ribbon, it is very nice ribbon, I have to say. It's really thick, but it only has the pattern on one side. So on your tails, you want the nice side of the ribbon to be facing up, but once you come through and you go to make your loops, the nice side of the ribbon should be facing down. And on this one, I'm going to measure my loops here at 6 inches, and I'm going to make 3 on either side. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used in today's project. This list will not only tell you how much you're going to need, it will also let you know where I purchased the materials. Now I'm going to go to this really pretty black, orange, and white striped ribbon. Again, I'm going to measure my tails at 12 inches, pinch and twist. With this ribbon, I'm going to make 3 loops on either side, and I'm going to be making them a little bit smaller at 5 inches. If you're enjoying today's content, make sure to subscribe. And when the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content. And I do upload new content to my channel every week. I'm going to go back to my butterfly ribbon. I'm going to measure my tails this time at 8 inches. This time I'm only going to make 2 loops on either side, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller again at about 4 inches. Maybe 4.5. Just a little smaller. And now I'm going to go to the pretty orange ribbon. I'm going to measure my tails again at 8 inches, pinch and twist. Okay, and then with this ribbon I'm going to measure and do 2 loops on either side at about 4.5 inches. Okay, so I have 2 loops on either side. I'm going to add 1 more loop for a center loop, and I'm going to measure it at the same length, approximately 4.5 inches. And then to get back to the correct side for my tail, I'm going to come through the small dowel rod and the large dowel rod here in the front. That helps me keep that little piece of ribbon that I need for my center loop on the correct side. Now that is one big bow and a lot of ribbon. Take a full length pipe cleaner, lift up one side and slide it down. I like to kind of push it down, all the ribbon, and then pinch so it's nice and snug as I pull out. Make sure you get that in the center. Wrap your pipe cleaners around and pull to the back. Get that snug. You got a lot of ribbon. Okay, now those aren't going to be long enough to get it onto my wreath, so I'm going to add another pipe cleaner. Now I have plenty of pipe cleaner to get my bow onto my wreath. You can see I have that extra little piece here in the front. That's for my center loop. That will help keep the loop. So I just open my center loop and then I hold it. Once I get everything fluffed out, you won't even see that. On this one, I want all of my tails to come down. And then just open up and fluff out all of your loops. Now if you need to do any adjusting, you want to go right down to where the loop comes out. If you need to spread it open down near the bottom so that it opens up correctly, or you need to pull or tuck, So this is approximately what your bow should look like. I will do my final adjusting and trim my tails once I get it onto the wreath. I have my bow and my butterfly on. I'm super happy with that. As you can see, I spread everything out and trimmed my tails. I did dovetail them all. And I kind of like my tails to kind of cascade down. So I have several different lengths there. Very pretty. Now I'm going to add some of these really cute little monarch butterflies. I did pick these up from Craft Outlet. It was $8.50 for the box. And they do come on a nice long piece of metal, which is really easy to bend, and that is what I'm going to use to attach it. I want them to stick up just a little bit above my wreath. So when I put this in, I'm going to make sure I leave enough of the wire so it can sit up on top. Feed the wire down through the Deco mesh until you can get to the wire frame in the back. Attach your butterfly to the wire frame wherever you need to get it to sit in the position you want. I have my butterfly on, and as you can see, he's up above my wreath base. I really like that. Now I can change the angle, have him face down, have him face up, whatever I want, and whatever looks right to me. I'm going to add in the rest of my butterflies. I have all of my embellishments in, and I'm really happy with the butterflies. I think they look so pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. You have a big, beautiful bow, all kinds of accent ribbons. I love this ribbon with the monarchs. For today's patriotic wreath, you're going to need one of these star wreath forms that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. You're also going to need some of their decorative mesh. Now this is their tulle mesh that is covered in snow. I really like this. It does not fray, and it's really good for cut methods. You're going to need several rolls of each color. I will let you know at the end exactly how much you're going to need. You want to cut your mesh all into strips at 6 inches, so you have a 6 by 6 inch square. I have my mesh laid out. I have one of each color, red, white, and blue. I like to layer it when I cut my mesh. It makes things go by really quickly. I prefer to use a rotary cutter. This one I picked up from Dollar Tree. You can also use a really good pair of scissors, but you want to make sure that you're getting a nice clean line. Starting to make my bundles. I have my mesh cut. I'm going to be using my Bodabra. I like to use this machine when I make bundles. It helps me out a lot because I do have arthritis and it's hard to hold things. You're also going to need some pipe cleaners cut in half. Now we're going to be doing the sunburst method, which is perfect for this mesh because this mesh does not fray. I really like the look of this method, but you have to have really good mesh to be able to use it, mesh that does not fray much. Okay, so you have your piece of mesh that's cut at 6 inches, so we have a square 6 by 6. You start by taking diagonal corners and you bring them to the center so they meet, and then you scrunch right across the center. So you have two little pointed ends. Add that, and you're going to add one of each color per bundle. So again, take diagonal corners, bring them to the center, and then scrunch right down the center. I like to open up my bundles so everybody gets a seat at the party. Wrap your pipe cleaner around. I always like to pull mine down. This will also let you know if they're even, if you need to move over to one side or not. It also lets you get a nice grip, pinch, and twist. But look at how pretty that bundle is. I love the look of it. Okay, I'll show you again. To attach our bundles to our wreath form, we're going to be attaching them to a single bar, and you're going to be alternating between the inner bar and your outer bar. So to get started, I'm going to attach it right here on the crossbar, and then the next one I'm going to attach here at the point. You're probably going to end up adding a couple more bundles to the outside ring than you do to the inside, and that's only because there's more space to cover. So feed from the front to the back. So I have right around that crossbar. Give a good twist. Pull your pipe cleaners together. Since I'm attaching to a single bar, my pipe cleaners are kind of long, so I'm going to trim them before I push them forward. Now my next one, I'm going to go right here at the point. Continue to add your bundles until you get each section full. I have one point of my star complete, and look at how beautiful that sunburst method is. Oh, I absolutely love it. It gives you a super textured, very thick and fluffy base. Exactly what I was going for. Doesn't it look like fireworks going off? The perfect base for a patriotic wreath. I added one at the point, one at the crossbar. On the inner bars here, I added 3 bundles, and on the outer bars, I added 5. And that was perfect. That took 1 roll of each color to do the arm. So you'll need a total of 5 rolls of each color to complete this wreath. Each roll is 6 inches at 3 yards. I have my base done on our patriotic star, and I'm really happy with the end result. Once you get it all done from flipping it back and forth, just go through, fluff it out, kind of pull the tips out so that they are a little bit more accentuated. But I love it. It's so nice, thick and full. It did take 5 rolls of each color to finish this wreath. But as you can see, I attached all of my bundles on the outer bar and the inner bar. And it made it nice, thick, and full. I just really like that fluffy, kind of explosive look that the sunburst method has, along with this mesh that has the snow on it. It looks like a party on your wreath. I'm very happy with that. Now I want to add a sign here to the center. This is the one that I've chosen. I picked this up at Dollar Tree. This is new this year, and it's like a bottle cap. Now they have 2 to choose from. You can use either one depending on whatever you can find in your store. This is the second one. I am proud to be an American. But I liked this one. I thought the colors were much brighter. So God bless America, and freedom it is. Now it comes with a jute cord on the top, which is nice because it already has holes in it. So I removed the jute cord and I added some floral wire. Now I just used the floral wire that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. It is 26 gauge and you get 100 feet. I prefer the silver, but they sell all different colors depending on whatever one suits your fancy. I think that's really cute, and I love that explosion. Now around here, that's a little too bare for me. So I'm going to add some of the table scatter that you can get at Dollar Tree. They are just calling it foam scatter. You get 20 pieces in a bag. I may also add a few of the vase filler that you can get in the red, white, and blue. Both of these are a really good bang for your buck. For $1.25, you get enough in here that you can do more than one wreath. I'm going to get my sign attached, and I'm going to add my embellishments. And these guys I'm just going to hot glue directly onto the mesh. And here you go. I have all my embellishments on. Now I used almost the whole package of the stars. I have just a few left over, and I decided to add just the white little base fillers, so I used what was left in that package. But as you can see, I still have plenty of the base filler in the red and blue and a couple stars left. So those are such a big bang for your buck, and look at how pretty they look attached to that snow mesh. Now I really like this method. It's such a beautiful method, but you really do need a mesh that's not going to fray. And this tulle mesh that's covered in snow fits the bill. No fraying at all, and you get such a beautiful texture. I'm really happy with that. For today's wreath, you're going to need one of the 14-inch wire wreath forms that you can pick up at Dollar Tree, some pipe cleaners cut in half, and 6 rolls of this Deco mesh that I picked up at Dollar Tree. You can find this in the Shore Living line. It has a very neutral base and then these really pretty metallic blue stripes in it. And these are 6 inches at 5 yards. You will need 6 rolls. I have 2 rolls of my mesh out, and to get this started you want to scrunch the ends. And you really want to try to keep them side by side. If you layer them on top of each other, it just makes it more difficult for you to open up your poofs once you've attached it to your wreath form. Get a pipe cleaner securely attached. Now we're going to be doing the poof or bubble method, and this is normally done with 10 or 21-inch mesh. This was my solution for using Dollar Tree mesh, is to use multiple rolls. You can use 2 or 3 rolls at a time, and I like this method because it goes very quickly and you get a really nice thick full base. Okay, so you want to feed from the front to the back, and we're going to attach it right here to one of the crossbars to get started. Once you have your pipe cleaners attached, take the ends, feed them to the back. I like to pull them back through the pipe cleaners and twist it down again. This just makes it extra secure. I don't want that to come loose and unravel as I'm working on my wreath. You want to leave at least a ½ inch worth of mesh so it doesn't pull through. We're going to be placing 8 to 10 poofs in each section, and a section is between the 2 crossbars. I'm going to be measuring my poofs at 8 inches. And you want to start right here where you attached it, go to 8 inches, pinch, add an additional pipe cleaner, Now, I usually like to go ahead and measure out about 4 or 5 poofs and then attach it to my wreath form. I like to do this because it makes the process go a little bit faster. And to attach, just take those 2 pipe cleaners and you're going to feed it on either side of the 2 bars there in the center. Okay, so I have it on either side. Pull it nice and snug and give a twist. Pull your pipe cleaners together and then push forward. This will help keep your back nice and clean, and you won't be able to see those from the front. Go to the next poof and add that, and just continue to add until you get 8 to 10 poofs per section. and each 2 rolls should cover 2 sections of your wreath. If you're new to working with Dollar Tree mesh, or you've worked with it in the past and have been frustrated, I have a great video for you. How to work with Dollar Tree mesh, the 7 best methods to use to get little to no fraying when using Dollar Tree mesh. It also goes over the different types of mesh that Dollar Tree carries, which ones are the best to use and which ones to stay away from if you can. I'll attach that video at the end for you. I have my base complete and I went through and separated all of my loops. It's nice and thick and full. And as you can see, you get little to no fraying with the poof or bubble method. Very nice. It took a total of 6 rolls of the mesh. I used 2 rolls at a time, and 2 rolls covered 2 sections. As you can see here on the back, I attached everything to those 2 bars in the center, and I tucked down all my pipe cleaners. This keeps the back of your wreath looking nice and clean and professional. Now I want to add some of this floral garden mesh ribbon that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I think this is really interesting. They had several different colors to choose from. Now if you can't find this type of ribbon at your Dollar Tree, you can always go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's. You're looking for a mesh type ribbon in a neutral color. So what I want to do with this is I want to feed it throughout my wreath, and I want it to sit up on top. I want it to add that texture so you get more of that coastal or by the sea feeling. So I'm going to scrunch the end here. I'm going to add a pipe cleaner. This is what I'm going to use to attach it. And I'm not going to be cutting my ribbon. I'm going to leave it in the roll as I attach. Now I want to start on a crossbar, and it's up to you if you want to start on the inside or you want to start on the outside. We're going to move back and forth, so it doesn't matter. Get that attached to your crossbar. Again, I'm going to pull the ends back through those pipe cleaners. I want to make sure that's nice and secure. I don't want it to come apart. Okay, so we're going to go from the outside on this crossbar to the inside onto the next crossbar. So over the top, just kind of lay in. You don't want it too tight. You want to make sure that's going to lay on top. Figure out how long you're going to need it to meet the spot. Add another pipe cleaner and attach. Right on the crossbar on the inner ring. Just like that, and then this one will go out and over to the side. Over here. So I'm just going to work my way around and crisscross from one side to the other and just jump from one crossbar to the other. So now that I'm over here, this one will go to the outside, and then the next one on the inside, the outside, the inside, and then back to the outside. I have my knitting on, and I absolutely love it. I think it is so pretty. It adds quite a bit to the texture of my wreath. Now I only used 1 roll, and I did have some left over. So I cut a couple more pieces, 3 more pieces at 10 inches, because I have 3 larger spaces that doesn't have anything in it. So since I had some left over, I decided I'm going to add a piece. So this is cut at 10 inches. Just fold it in half and add a pipe cleaner. And then right across from where you attached it on the inside, attach it on the outside on that same crossbar. So you'll attach it on the crossbar, on the 2 bars on the outside. See, it fills in that space nicely. Now I have that texture throughout my wreath. Oh, I'm very pleased with that. Looks better than I thought it was going to. Now this is the sign that we're going to be using on our wreath today. I absolutely love it. This is brand new this year in Dollar Trees in their Shore Living. They have 3 different words to choose from. You have unwind, relax, and welcome. They're all done in this type, which I think is beautiful. So to get this attached to our wreath, I'm going to add 2 pipe cleaners, one on either corner here on the bottom. And then I'm going to use the jute cord that comes with it. Just find the center, cut. And then I'm going to use this to tie on to my wreath frame. These are already stapled in, so I know they're nice and secure, and it's long enough that I can do that. If I can, I like to attach my signs in 4 areas. That way I know my sign's not going to move around or flip or flop if it tends to get windy. Now here when I did my pipe cleaners, I also put a little piece of cardboard. Sometimes I use ribbon, whatever I have available. That just makes sure that that pipe cleaner's extra secure. And I want to place this kind of right in the middle, maybe down just a little bit. I want it to cross right through the center. And to get this attached, I'm going to take the pipe cleaners and the jute cord, feed it through the mesh until I can get to the wire frame in the back, and then attach it to the wire frame. You can attach anywhere on the wire frame that you need to get your sign to sit in the position that you want it to. My sign is on, it's nice and secure. Once you get it on, you want to make sure to trim and tuck your pipe cleaners. And then with my jute cord, I tied a double knot, added a little hot glue to make sure it doesn't slip out, and then tucked in the end. Now I'm ready to add some of my embellishments. I found these really cool looking little glass globes at Dollar Tree. This comes out of their Shore Living line. They had 3 colors, this dark blue, this teal, and clear. I have 2 of each color. They each come with a little hanger here, so I just take half a pipe cleaner. I'm going to run it through that, get it attached, and that's what I'm going to use to attach it to my wreath. So I will feed that part down and use the pipe cleaners to attach it to the wreath form in the back. Now you just want to play with your placement. I usually just kind of set them out. I don't know if I'm going to use all 6. They're kind of big. And then I also want to make sure that I'm putting some kind of out towards the side, some a little bit towards the center. You don't want to place everything in the middle all the way around. That will look funny. And then to get these attached, just take those pipe cleaners, move your mesh aside, get down to the wire frame, and attach it to the wire frame. I'm going to work on getting all my little glass balls here attached to my wreath form. Okay, I have the little plastic balls on. I did use all 6, so I put 3 on the top half and 3 here on the bottom half. I'm really liking that. Now I pulled this out. This also came from Crafter Square. You got 3 mermaid tails. I'm only going to use one, and it does come on a jute cord here. So that's what I'm going to use to tie it onto the wreath frame. And I just want to add one here kind of at the end of the sign like that. So I'm going to tie it on, and then I'm also going to hot glue it into place to make sure that it stays where I want it. But I'm going to use the jute cord here to tie it onto the wire frame. Now the reason why I tie it to the frame and glue it, the glue will hold it in the position, and if anything happens and that glue fails, this may fall out of position, but it's not going to fall off the wreath. So just take your jute cord, feed it down through the mesh, and attach it to your wire frame, and then use the hot glue to get it into the correct position. Now I have it tied on, and I'm just going to go in with some hot glue and make sure that it's glued right onto that Deco mesh. That way it's not going to move its position. On these I also went through and added some hot glue. I want to make sure those don't change their position as well. I think that's so pretty. Now I also have some of these starfish that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. They come out of the Shore Living line. You get 3 in a package, so I have 1 package and an additional one. And then I also have several different types of shells. I have some large ones, some smaller ones. I'm going to be adding these as well. You can buy shells from Dollar Tree. You get a huge bag for $1.25. Now to attach these and my shells, I'm going to be using a combination of Aleene's Original Tacky Glue and hot glue. Aleene's Original Tacky Glue takes 24 to 48 hours to fully set up, but once it does, it's weather resistant. So even if it gets too hot, too cold, even if it gets moist, your shells and your starfish are not going to fall off. So what I like to do is, of course, play with my positioning. I just kind of lay them out. Once I find where I like them, then go ahead and glue them down. I have my final embellishments on, and I'm really happy with the end result. I definitely have that coastal vibe by the sea. Absolutely beautiful. Now I did pull out several other items that I was considering adding, but I'm happy with it right where it is here, so I'm not going to be adding anything else. I did only use 2 of the starfish, and then I used 2 large white shells. I did sneak in a sand dollar from my trip to Stinson Beach, and then I have some smaller shells mixed in throughout. To get started on our Black Crow wreath, you're going to need a 14-inch wire wreath form that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. You're also going to need some full-length pipe cleaners. Now I need to change this wire wreath form into a working wreath form, and that's very easy to do. That just means that your pipe cleaners are attached to the wreath form already. So here at each crossbar, on the 2 bars on the inside, you want to place a pipe cleaner. Give it a couple twists. Anything that I have on the inner rings, I pull towards the center, and then anything I put on the outer rings, I pull to the outside. Now there again at the crossbar, on the 2 bars on the outside, you also want to place a pipe cleaner. Now, in between the 2 crossbars on the 2 bars on the outside, you're also going to be placing a pipe cleaner. You want to continue that pattern all the way around your wreath form. By the end, you should have 18 pipe cleaners attached. I have 18 pipe cleaners attached to my wreath form. It's ready to go. Now this time I'm going to start to attach my bundles on the outer ring. I want my inner ring bundles to slightly stack on top of the outer ring so it's slightly elevated. So I went through and I just opened up all of the ones around the outside so they're ready to go for me to add my mesh. I have my roll here of poly burlap mesh. This is 10 inches at 10 yards. And it is lime green is the color. I believe I picked this up at craftoutlet.com. You can also get poly burlap mesh from Hobby Lobby. This roll is 10 inches at 10 yards. You should be able to get 18 pieces cut at 20 inches. Cut the entire roll into strips at 20 inches. I have all my mesh cut. Now my last piece is short. It's only about 14 inches long, but that's okay. I will make that work. And these are the ribbons that I pulled out to use on the wreath today. Now this one matches the sign very well. This is really good ribbon. I did pick all of my ribbon up at craftoutlet.com. This one was $7.75, 2.5 inches at 10 yards. And this one is also really good ribbon. 1.5 inches at 10 yards, that was $3.75. And then this one I've had in my stash. This is not a full roll, so I'll use what's left. This is 1.5 inches at 10 yards, and that was $4.50. You want to cut your ribbon at 12 inches in length and dovetail the ends. Now a trick, since I have really nice scissors to help me cut my ribbon, is I measure out 12 inches and I pinch, and then I fold it over itself. So right now I have 2. I'll fold again, that'll give me 3. So now I just need to find the center of where my fold is. And my scissors can cut right through that and still give me a nice clean line. If you're interested, I did pick these up from Amazon.com. You can find them in my Amazon Associate shop under Tools. I love these. Okay. That way I have a bunch of ribbon, it's already cut, and now I can go in and do my dovetails. And again, I'll do a couple ribbon at a time because my scissors are sharp enough to still give me a nice sharp clean edge. I was able to get 9 pieces of my yellow and black striped ribbon, so I will cut 9 pieces of this ribbon and then 18 pieces of this ribbon, all cut at 12 inches. My ribbon is cut and so is my mesh. I'm ready to start putting together my bundles. Now we're going to be doing the woodland ruffle today. This is also called the cruffle method. It's one of my favorite methods to use. I love the amount of texture that it gives. So you want to start at one end and you give a good roll or 2. I usually go 2 to 3 rolls. Give a pinch, turn around, do the same thing to the other end. Then in the center you want to pinch and gather. Pinch in the center, you have 2 curls with a ruffle in the center. add that to my bow maker. And now I also want to add my ribbon. Now I'm going to be alternating between my yellow and black stripe and my black and white polka dot, but everyone is going to have this beautiful sunflower ribbon, and because this is the larger of the ribbon, this is going to go on the bottom. I just like to find the center and pinch and crisscross. This will just make it easier once I get it onto the wreath to separate out my ribbon and so that it stands out and you can see it. So you want to place that into your first pipe cleaner on the outside. Pull nice and snug, give a couple twists. Trim, I usually leave about a ½ inch and then push that down. I will go back and fluff out all of my ribbon once I get all of my bundles on. So start at the end, do a nice roll, 2 to 3 times. I like to clip it. If you have good hands and you can hold it, more power to you. And go to the opposite end, do the same thing. Scrunch and pull across. Now as you add these in, they're going to butt up to each other and lift up, and that's going to help your wreath look nice and full. And then when we add in the ones around the center ring, those will stack up on top a little bit and make it even thicker and fuller. So just as you work your way around, you're going to alternate between the 2 bundles. I have all of my bundles on, and now I'm going through and adjusting my ribbon. I want to pull everything away from the center, and I'm starting on the outer ring. I do that section and then I move to the one above. That way I don't crush my ribbon as I'm working on it. If you're enjoying today's content, make sure to subscribe, and when the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content. I have all my bundles in and my base is complete. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Nice, thick, and full, and so colorful with that beautiful lime green base and those color coordinating ribbons. This is the sign that we're going to be using on our wreath today. I did pick this up from Craft Outlet, and as you can see, this ribbon goes perfectly with this sign. Now the sign is an MDF board. As you can see, it's nice and thick. This is $3.95, which I think is a good deal. Now I'm just going to remove the jute cord there, and then I'm going to add 4 pipe cleaners here on the back. And to get them attached, I'm going to be using my handy dandy staple gun. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used in today's project. This list will not only tell you how much you're going to need, it will also let you know where I purchased the materials. I always like to add just a little bit of hot glue so that my pipe cleaner doesn't slide around. Let your glue set up before you attach it to your wreath. I have the sign on. It's nice and secure. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm really happy. I think everything goes together so very well. But there is one more element I want to add. And I have these two beautiful large sunflowers. I did get these from Dollar Tree, but if you can't find them at Dollar Tree, Walmart also carries big, beautiful sunflowers. Now you get one flower and two leaves. Of course, the stem is way too long. So I'm just going to cut the head, and then I'm also going to cut off the two leaves. I want to add them together. And I have my flowers cut. And you can play with the placement. I was thinking maybe putting two of them along on the side, maybe two on the bottom, but I think I kind of like one on either corner here. So I'm going to glue them in there, and then I'm also going to add two leaves along with each bloom. And I did leave my stem plenty long enough so that I can feed it down into that mesh. I want my floral to sit a little bit up and above. A large 25-inch sunflower wreath, perfect for your front door to transition from end of summer into the beginning of fall. Once I have my florals placed, then I'll sneak in some leaves around them. I have my sign and my florals on. I think it came out absolutely gorgeous. I'm very pleased with the addition of the large sunflowers. It goes perfectly with the ribbon and the sign. I think it was the perfect final addition for this big, beautiful Black Crow Sunflower Seed Company wreath. I really enjoyed working with the poly burlap mesh. This is nice and thick. I didn't have too much issues with the ends unraveling since it was a cut method. I will definitely be using this mesh again, and I love the colors. The color combinations are absolutely gorgeous, and I'm so happy I went with that lime green for the base. For the sign on our wreath today, I'm going to be using this. It comes as a garden stake at Dollar Tree for $1.25. It is stapled on, so I just used my paint scraper to help me get it off. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get it off without breaking the sign. That's why I wanted to do it first. And then they didn't cut it out real well. There's still some cardboard here. So I pulled out my good old sanding block, and I'm just going to go over that and remove that mess. I don't want to see that. Comes off lickety-split with your sander. I got all the edges cleaned up. Now I really like this sign. It's very stunning and it stands out, and when I saw it I was like, yep, I want that one. And it's perfect for a traditional Halloween wreath, which is what we're doing today. Now to get this ready to go onto our wreath, we're going to be adding some pipe cleaners onto the back. I'm going to do one in each of the corners. Start off with some hot glue. Add a dab more on top. And then to help secure it, a little bit of ribbon. Just be careful not to burn yourself. For our wreath today, you're going to be needing an 18-inch wire wreath form that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. The reason why I decided to go with the 18-inch is because of the size of our sign. It's rather large and it overtakes the 14-inch. You're also going to need several packages of Dollar Tree Deco mesh. You will need 4 in the black and 4 in the orange. This is their new packaging that comes out with their seasonal mesh. It is still 6 inches at 5 yards. It feels like it's a little bit better quality, but we're going to check it out today. I have 3 rolls of my Deco mesh out, and I have them stacked, 2 of the black and 1 of the orange. You want to cut your mesh into strips at 22 inches. I like to cut 3 at a time. I use a rotary cutter. It makes it very easy, and it makes quick work of having to cut your mesh. I have a package of the black mesh tubing that I picked up from Dollar Tree, and I have a piece of cardboard. This is 7.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I'm just going to use this to help me cut my mesh tubing. The mesh tubing likes to twist up, so if you have to do it a couple times to get what you need, that's fine. And then just cut both ends. We're going to prep our ribbon now. All of these ribbon came from Dollar Tree. I like this one. It has the right color tones, those orange and black, and I love the jack-o'-lanterns. It's so traditional. And then I love the black ribbon with the white spider webbing. The sign has spiders and webbing all over it. And then I really like this one with the black and orange. Now this is the only item that did not come from Dollar Tree that I'm using. This is Celebrate It, and I believe Celebrate is Michael's. This was regularly $9.99. I'm sure I purchased it on sale. 2.5 inches at 25 feet. But I saw that and I love it. It's so pretty, and it's absolutely the right color tones and everything for this wreath. You will want to cut 8 pieces of each ribbon at 10 inches and dovetail their ends. I have everything ready and prepared. Time to make our bundles. We're going to be doing the Cruffle method today. I like this method when using Dollar Tree mesh because you get little to no fraying. So my piece of mesh is cut at 22 inches. You want to start at one end and give a nice roll. I usually like to roll it with Dollar Tree mesh 3 or 4 times. Clip, turn around, do the same thing at the other end. And then the distance in between, you scrunch, just like you would in a ruffle. So you have 2 curls and a ruffle in the middle. This is also called the woodland ruffle method. Now each bundle is going to have 2 pieces of mesh. Now on the orange bundles, I'm going to be adding 4 pieces of the black mesh tubing. I like this. It kind of reminds me of a spider. That's why I'm adding it, to kind of go with the sign that has spiders on it. Half a pipe cleaner. Wrap your pipe cleaner around, get it nice and tight, and give a couple twists. Okay, so all of your orange bundles are going to have the black tubing added. We're making 3 different bundles. Now our next 2 bundles both have 2 pieces of the black mesh and ribbon. If you're enjoying today's content, make sure to subscribe, and when the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube should let you know every time I upload new content. So for this one, I'm going to put these 2 ribbon together. I always like to put my accent ribbon in the back. I think that's so pretty. I love the kitty. You can find a detailed supply list in the description box below. Now on my ribbon bundles, I like to do a little bit of adjusting before I add it to my wreath. I want to make sure that my ribbon is going to sit the way that I want it. If I need to adjust it in any way, now is the time. Okay, so that's our second bundle. And with this bundle, I'm going to be doing these two ribbon. And that is your third bundle. Now as you add them to your wreath here, we're going to be adding them to the center bar. On this wreath form, there's only 3 bars. If you're working with a wreath form that has 4 bars, you want to attach it to the 2 bars that are in the center. And I'm going to be placing one right on the crossbar and then 3 in between. So I'll place one on the crossbar, 3 bundles in between, another on the crossbar, 3 bundles, and do that all the way around. And I'm simply going to be alternating. Start with this one. So right now I have 1 on the bar and 3 inside. So this one's going to go right on the bar. I like to pull my pipe cleaners together and then push them back forward. This keeps my wreath looking nice and clean from the back and keeps any sharp edges away from the door. In between each of the ones that have ribbon will go an orange one with the mesh tubing. And then our third. But look at how pretty that looks. Just with a few bundles added. I am loving that base. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to work on finishing my base and then I'll be back and we can move forward. I have all of my bundles attached. I'm very happy with the end result. Look at how bright and festive this wreath is. So pretty. Now my glue is fully set up on my sign and I'm ready to attach it. I want it to go right in the center. You just take your pipe cleaners, you feed it through the mesh and the ribbon, and you attach it to the wire wreath form in the back. I have my sign attached and I'm really happy with that. Just go around and adjust your ribbon and your mesh until you are happy with how your sign is sitting. Now there's one more thing I want to add, and it's this 4-pack of Halloween picks. Thought this looked very vintage and traditional, the little jack-o'-lanterns there. Now they already come on a stick for you, but it's very loose. So you don't want it to fall off. I'm just going to add a small amount of glue. There we go. And put it back in. Now you just need to decide where you want to place them. I do have 2 packages, but I don't think I'm going to use more than about 4 or 5 of them. And then I don't need that long. That just snaps off. And you'll glue these guys in just like you would a stem. Add some hot glue and make sure you get it nestled nicely right on down inside that Deco mesh. That way when the glue sets up, it'll be fully secure. And yes, I always like to work with my placement a little bit before I put them in. And there you go, we are all done. I have all my little pumpkins in, and I lied, I used both packages, so a total of 8 of the pumpkins. But I'm very pleased with the end result. It just screams Happy Halloween. So bright and cheery. Everything except this one ribbon came from Dollar Tree, making it very budget friendly. The finished wreath is about 25 inches in diameter. To get started on today's project, I'm going to be using an 18-inch wreath form. Now the reason why I'm using the 18-inch wreath form is because of the size of the sign. It is 12 inches. And as you can see, if I place it on the inside, it fits nicely in my wreath. So once I get my deco mesh on here, it will sit nicely in the center, and I'll still have plenty of room to add my ribbon and my embellishments. Now these are the 3 colors that I've pulled out to use on our tri-color bubble method wreath today. And I like these colors. The colors on the sign are very muted, and these are very muted as well. The green and the gray really pull the dark and light greens in the sign, and this is a beautiful color that accents and is in the sign in a few areas. So these colors are going to make a beautiful base for our fall wreath. You're also going to need some pipe cleaners that are cut in half. Now I have 1 roll of each color laid out. And to get these attached, I'm just going to kind of separate the ends here. Start on one and scrunch. Do the next one and the last one. Now the reason why I'm scrunching them side by side rather than stacking them is once I have it onto my wreath base and I have to go back and open up my poofs, that's going to make it much easier for me to do that than if I stack them on top of each other. Go ahead and secure a pipe cleaner on the end. Okay, and then we're going to attach it right here to a crossbar. You want to feed from the front to the back. Give it a couple good twists. And then push the ends from the front to the back, pull them back through those pipe cleaners and twist it down again. This will just make it nice and secure. And you don't have to worry about it pulling it through. Okay. Pull your pipe cleaners together and then push them forward. You can trim off any excess, you just need to leave about 1 inch so it doesn't pull back through. Okay, so we're going to be measuring our bubbles at 8 inches. You want to start to measure right here, pull to the end and pinch at 8 inches, add a pipe cleaner. Now to make this easy on myself, I like to measure out a few first before I start to attach it. It makes the process go just a little bit faster, and then that way you're not just doing the same motion over and over again. It mixes it up a little bit. You can find a complete supply list in the description box below. Okay, now I'm going to start to attach it. And my first one I'm going to attach to the center bar and the inner bar. Wrap it around those 2 bars and give it a twist or 2. Pull the pipe cleaners together and push them forward. Now my next one, I'm going to move to the center bar and the outer bar. Again, just pull together, give a good twist or 2. and push those forward. And then that's what I'm going to do. Just keep alternating back and forth. And then just move it over. Once you get a section full, you can go back and separate your poofs. You just want to pull them apart. You do not have to open them up completely, but you do want to separate them. One, because you want to see each of those colors. And two, you have 3 poofs every time you do one, so you might as well take advantage of that. Enjoying today's content and want to see more? Make sure to hit that subscribe button. When the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, YouTube should let you know every time I upload new content to my channel. I have my first section complete. You will be placing 10 bundles in each section. You will have 5 on the inner bar and center bar and 5 on the center bar and outer bar. Once you have put in 10 bundles, you move into your next section. Your first 3 rolls should cover your first 2 sections. There are 8 sections on the wreath, and that's why you need 4 rolls of each color. I've already gone through and opened up and separated my poofs, and look at that beautiful color mixture. And once they're all pulled apart, you can see each of the colors, and they're very muted, but they go perfectly together. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous base, nice, thick, and wide. And here you go, my base is complete. The tri-color bubble method did a beautiful job. I went in and opened up all of the poofs so you can see all 3 colors and how beautifully mixed they are. And as you can see, this is one of my favorite methods when using Dollar Tree mesh, because you get little to no fraying because you're not cutting the mesh. Time to get our sign attached. Now here on the back, I glued on 2 full-length pipe cleaners at the bottom. Here at the top, I just removed the cord that would have hung the sign, and I put silver floral wire through both, ran it through the hole and over the top. I left enough so I can use that to attach it. I like to attach my signs in 4 places on my wreath. That way the sign's not going to move or change. And I want this guy right in the center up on top of the mesh. Isn't that beautiful? Just take your pipe cleaners and your floral wire, separate your mesh and feed it down until you can attach it to the wire frame in the back. My sign is attached and it's not going to go anywhere. I'm loving that background with this sign. It really pulls all those beautiful colors. Let's work on our ribbon. These are the 4 ribbon that I've chosen. I picked up all of these from Dollar Tree in their fall section. They are all 2.5 inches at 3 yards. I have my faux plain burlap, this really pretty sunflower and leaves, orange faux burlap, and this really pretty checkered. I like it very much. We're going to be putting these 2 ribbon together and these 2 ribbon together. You need to cut 8 pieces of each ribbon at 10 inches and dovetail both ends. I have all my ribbon cut and I have pipe cleaners that are cut in half. I'm going to be making 2 separate ribbon bundles. These 2 are going to go together and then these 2 are going to go together. I always like to put my pattern in the front and my plain in the back. Now I do like to style my ribbon bundles before I put them in. I just like to lift them up and curl the ends out so that you can see each color. So that's number 1. And that is your second bundle. You will need to make 8 of each bundle. I have all my ribbon bundles made. I'm starting to attach it to my wreath form. Now this bundle I'm attaching to every crossbar as I work my way around, and then in between these two that are attached to the crossbars, I'm adding one of these. And I'm just alternating between attaching it inner, middle, and outer. Once you have your bundle attached, you want to make sure to tuck those pipe cleaners. You don't want anything sharp on the back. So I normally put the 2 on the crossbar and then find my spot in the center for the other one. Okay, so I have inner, middle, outer, inner. So the next one will go back to the center. And I just keep alternating as I make my way around the wreath. I have all of my ribbon in and I'm so happy with how it's turning out. Now there's one more element I want to add. I have these 2 packages of little pumpkins. They do come with clips on the back. They are the muted pumpkin clips, and I think both of these colors are going to go gorgeous. Now I'm actually going to take them off of the clips, but that is up to you. I found that a lot of them are falling off anyway. And then as I attach these to my wreath, I'm going to be attaching them using Aleene's Original Tacky Glue and hot glue. Hot glue can fail if this wreath goes outside, so that's why I use Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. This will take 24 to 48 hours to set up, but once it does, it makes your wreath more weather resistant. Things are not going to fall off if it gets too hot or too cold. I've even had my wreath out in wind and rain and nothing fell off, so I'm very happy with this glue. So just work your way around. I'm going to alternate between the green and the orange. And here you go, we are all done. I got all of my pumpkins on. I did end up using all of them from the 2 packs, so I have 6 orange and 6 green pumpkins on my wreath. I'm very happy with the color tones, and everything came together just how I had planned. To get started on today's Christmas wreath, we're going to prep our ribbon. These are the 2 ribbon that I pulled out. They're both 1.5 inches at 50 yards. They came from Costco. I really love the black and green check. And then I like this one too. It adds just a little bit of sparkle. It has a little bit of gold detail in there. But I love the white background with that greenery. Very pretty. You will want to cut 18 pieces of each ribbon at 12 inches and dovetail their ends. I have my ribbon prepared, 18 pieces of each, cut at 12 inches and dovetailed. Now we're going to prepare our wreath form. This is a 14-inch wire wreath form that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. It happens to be silver, but you can use whatever color you can find. You're also going to need some full-length pipe cleaners. You will need 18 of them. So we're going to put our pipe cleaners onto our wreath form here, and that just makes this a working wreath form. So you want to start here on the crossbar. You're going to put 1 pipe cleaner on the 2 bars near the center, and then you're also going to put a pipe cleaner on the 2 bars on the outside of the wreath at the crossbar. Now you're going to do that to every crossbar, and then in between the 2 crossbars you're also going to place a pipe cleaner on the 2 bars on the outside. Just continue this pattern all the way around your wreath. My wreath form is ready to go. You will also need 2 rolls of 10 inch by 10 yard jute colored Deco mesh. Now I'm using what they call their drift snow or snow drift mesh. I really like this. It has the little white poofy balls. But you can use a plain colored jute, one with stripes, whatever you can find in your store. I did pick this up from Hobby Lobby. This is their Poly Pro weatherproof mesh. And this normally retails for $9.99, but I always pick up their mesh when it's 40 or 50% off. I have 1 roll of my mesh laid out here. For our base today, we're going to be doing the poof method, and then we're going to go back in and fill in with the cruffle method. I really love mixing the 2 methods together. I get a very large, thick base. So to get this attached, you just want to scrunch your end. I'm going to start here on the center ring. Just lay it in your pipe cleaners, give a couple twists, make sure that's nice and secure. And then we're going to be measuring our poofs at 10 inches. You want to start here where you attached it, pull out to 10 inches, pinch, go to the next pipe cleaner, lay it inside and give another twist. Continue to measure at 10 inches and move your way around the center of your wreath. I'm back where I started, so now I'm going to move down to the outer ring, and I'm just going to drop right down to the pipe cleaner that's below the one I'm at. Then I'm going to continue to measure at 10 inches and work my way around the outer ring. Check the description box below for a complete supply list. So I have the poofs on. I'm going through now and I'm opening them up, spreading them out so I get the full effect. Enjoying today's content and want to see more? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. When the notification bell pops up, if you hit that too, you'll be one of the first to know every time I upload new content. See how much better it looks just by opening up all of your poofs. With the rest of your first roll and an additional second roll, you want to cut 18 pieces, cut at 25 inches in length. I like to use a rotary cutter, but if you have a good pair of scissors, that works as well. You just want to make sure you get a nice clean cut so that you don't have problems with fraying. I have all my mesh cut at 25 inches. I'm going to be using my bow dabber to put together all my bundles. I like using this machine. It is a bow maker. You can find the link to my Amazon associate shop where you can find this under tools in the description box below. We're going to be doing the cruffle method. Now this is a really simple method and I love this method because it reduces the fraying. You want to start at one end and do a nice curl. Usually go 2 or 3 times and then I take a clip, go around to the other side. You're going to do the same thing. Roll about 2 or 3 times. And then the distance in between, you pinch and scrunch just like you would on a ruffle till you get to the other side. So then you have 2 curls and you have a cruffle in the middle. I like this because those cut ends are all rolled in. And then we're going to add 1 piece of each ribbon. Then you want to go ahead and place one bundle in each pipe cleaner. And when you're placing your bundles, you do not want to place them like this. You want to turn them and place them this way. That way you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck on your bundle. By placing it the opposite way, what happens is you get a lot of mesh buildup in the center of your wreath, which you're not going to see once you add your sign. And then you don't have enough mesh around the outside, and it just doesn't look full. So give that a couple twists, trim, leave about a 1/2 inch, and then push your pipe cleaners forward. Just kind of lift up and pull out my ribbon. And I'm going to start on the outside and then move to the inside. That way my inside bundles will slightly sit up on top of my outside bundles. Now if your curl is too tight, you will know because the ends will start to stick out. If that happens, you want to loosen up your curl. If you don't, you'll have more issues with fraying. I have all of my bundles in and my base is complete. I think it looks so pretty and I love that snowdrift mesh. I think it really looks good on this wreath. Very pretty. Now this is the sign that I've chosen. I did pick this up from Dollar Tree, so now you can see why I chose that green and black check. It matches the trim. So to get your sign attached here, I took the jute cord out and I put in some floral wire, and then I added two full-length pipe cleaners down here at the bottom. I like to have my wreath signs attached in 4 places. I don't want them to move once they're attached. But I think that sign is so pretty. Now to get this attached, you just feed your pipe cleaners and your floral wire down through the mesh, and you attach it to the wire frame in the back. Now I want my sign to sit right in the center, up on top of the mesh. I think that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. My sign is on. It's nice and secure. It's not going to go anywhere. Once you get it attached, make sure to trim and tuck your pipe cleaners and your floral wire. Is some of these red little Christmas balls. You get 16 pieces in a pack. These are the soft red glow. And I'm going to cluster these into 3. So I just take a full-length pipe cleaner, feed on 3 of the ornaments. You should be able to make about 5 cluster ornaments. Pull them all the way down so they're nice and snug, and then give it a couple twists. I wanted to share a trick with you when attaching your little ornament balls. You want to twist all the way down till you leave about 1 inch on either side. This is going to help them stay up on top of the wreath and not sink down. And then just go in and attach them like you normally would to one of the wire frames in the back. So once I get them in, I fluff right around them, make sure they're up on the top. And then I hot glue one of the balls onto the mesh so that it stays up in that area. Okay, I have all my little cluster ornaments in. I got 5 with that one package, and I'm happy with that. I like how it really accentuates the red here in the barn, but I want to add a little bit more red, and we're going to do that with the bow. So now we're going to make the bow. You're going to need 2 full-length pipe cleaners. Now I'm going to be using the same 2 ribbon that I added and this additional ribbon. I wanted to add a little bit more red. This is also 1.5 inches at 50 yards. I did pick this one up at Costco as well. So I'm going to start with this really pretty ribbon. I'm going to measure my tail at 8 inches, pinch and twist. And now I'm going to make my loops at 4 inches, and I'm going to do 1 loop on either side. Okay, now I'm going to go to my black and green check. I'm going to do the exact same thing. 8-inch tails, 1 loop on either side at 4 inches. I'm going to go back to my red ribbon again. I'm going to do the same thing, 8 inches, 1 loop on either side at 4 inches. I'm sorry, my camera shut off because my storage was full. I did finish off the bow. Now I did 4 pieces of ribbon. Each one has 8-inch tails and 1 loop on either side at 4 inches. And I started with the red, I did the green, another red, and then the other green. And now you just want to open up your loops and separate your loops out and your tails. I'm going to have my tails mixed in with my loops on this one. And this is approximately what it should look like. I'll do my final adjusting and the trimming of my tails once I get it onto the wreath. So we're going to get our bow attached. And I left the area here at the top without any red because I knew I was going to put the bow. And I have red here in my bow. So I want this to go right above the sign. I'm just going to use my pipe cleaners, feed it in through the mesh and attach it to that wire frame in the back. I have my bow attached and I'm really happy with it. Now I hung it up and I was looking at it and it needed more red still, so I've added a package of the large red Christmas balls. This is the package that they come in, and you get 7 in a package for $1.25. They had half shiny red and half glitter. And to get these attached, I'm using a combination of Aleene's Original Tacky Glue and hot glue. So I just add Aleene's first, follow up with some hot glue, and then just make sure you get that nicely nestled inside your Deco mesh so it has good contact. And here you go, we are all done. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And those little hints of red really make that red barn and the sign pop out. Absolutely gorgeous. To get started on our project today, you're going to need a 14-inch wire wreath form. This one happens to be silver, but it doesn't matter what color, you can use any one. You're also going to need 5 rolls of the light blue mesh and 5 rolls of the white mesh, and some pipe cleaners cut in half. I have my mesh unwrapped and I have 1 roll of the blue and 1 roll of the white laid out. You want to cut all of your mesh into strips at 15 inches. I prefer to use a rotary cutter. I get a really nice clean cut, but if you don't have one, of course you can use scissors. The rotary cutter here that I'm using I did pick up from the Dollar Tree and it works very well. I usually get a good 6 to 8 months use out of it before I have to replace it. So I think that's a great deal for $1.25. We're going to be doing my rosebud method. Now, if you have not seen me do this method, it is a fabulous method. You can use any of the Dollar Tree mesh and get a beautiful no fray base with this method. I'm going to be putting 3 pieces in each bundle. So one bundle will have 2 blue and 1 white, and the next one will have 2 white and 1 blue. And I'm also going to be using my Bodabra. I do have arthritis in my hands, and this makes it much easier to hold my bundles for me as I make them. Now, to do the rose bundle method, you take your piece of mesh that's cut at 15 inches. You take the 2 cut ends and you fold them over themselves by about 1 inch. Press down. Come to the side, make sure the side is lined up. You want to fold over by about 1/2 inch, and then continue to fold all the way to the other side. It should take you 4 folds. The side that has the seam is the side you want to go down. Okay. I'll show you again. 15 inches. Cover the ends by about 1 inch and push down. Make sure the end is fully lined up and fold over by about 1/2 inch, and then continue to fold as you go. Should take about 4 folds to get to the other side. Take the seam side and put that down. You'll need 1/2 pipe cleaner. Now, if you have good hands, you can hold the bundles in your hands. If you don't have a bow maker and you need help, you can also use one of the little pink clips that you can get at Dollar Tree. So you want to wrap it around the center, pull it to the back, and give a couple twists. And then to attach these to our wreath form, we're going to be attaching it to the 2 bars here in the center. And in each section, and the section is between the 2 crossbars, you're going to be placing 6 bundles. Now, these bundles are nice and large, and as you can see, 6 bundles will fully cover a section. I've already completed 1 section, and now I'm working on my 2nd section. But look at how beautiful. The ends look like the center of a rose, which is why I call it my rose bundle method. And there is absolutely no fraying with this method. And it gives you such a beautiful and textured base. I love it. I'm going to finish off my base, and then I'll be back and we can move forward. I have my rosebud base completely finished, and I am very pleased. It's so nice and thick and full, and as you can see, there's absolutely no fraying with this method. I did use the full 10 rolls of mesh, 5 of the blue and 5 of the white. That gave me about 5 to 6 bundles per section on the wreath, and as you can see, that was plenty to give me a really nice thick base. This is the sign that I've chosen to use today. I did pick this up from craftoutlet.com. It was about $3.50. It is a metal sign. Remove any stickers that might be on the back. And then this did come with a jute cord hanger. I removed that and I replaced it with some floral wire. I just picked up my floral wire from Dollar Tree. So I come in through the hole and over the top and twist it together and leave a nice long piece there so I can attach it to my wreath. So I've done that to both sides. This guy's ready to go onto the wreath. Let's work on the bow now. I have my Deluxe Easy Bow Maker. I love this machine. It helps me so much. I do have arthritis in my hands. You'll need a couple full-length pipe cleaners. And I pulled out 3 ribbon for this wreath. Now, I did, when I purchased the sign, I did purchase some ribbon to go with it. And for the life of me, I have no idea what I did with it. So I pulled out some other ribbon that I have. So if you happen to purchase the sign and the other ribbon, just use the other ribbon. These 2 I picked up from papermart.com. That's also another good site to pick up ribbon. And this is 2.5 inches. Has that light blue background and those really cute little snowmen. And then this one is also 2 inches or 2.5 inches. And this is sheer, and it has the white snowflakes on top. And this one, at the time I bought it, and these are all 10-yard rolls, was $3.95, and this one with the snowman was $5.45. And then I'm also going to use this one, and this is 1.5 inches. This one I did pick up from Costco or Kirkland. And I really like this, especially for winter. Look at it, it's a beautiful white background and it has stitching of silver in it. It's so pretty. It gives that frosty look and feel I'm looking for. Now I'm going to start with this one right here. And I think I want my tails to be relatively long. So again, I'm going to measure out my tails this time at about 10 inches. And then I'm going to pinch and twist and come down between the 2 large dowel rods. Now here on your tails, you want the nice side of your ribbon to face up, but once you come through and you go to make your loops for your bow, the nice side of your ribbon should be facing down. Now on this ribbon, I'm going to measure my loops at about 5 inches, and I'm only going to do 2 loops on either side. If you enjoyed today's content, please give me a big thumbs up and show some love in the comment section. This really does help support my channel. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. When the notification bell pops up, you're going to want to hit that too. That way YouTube will let you know every time I upload new content. And I do add new content to my channel every week. And now I'm going to go to the 1.5 inch ribbon. I really like it. It's so pretty. Again, I'm going to measure my tails a little on the longer side and go about 10 inches. Pinch and twist. And with this ribbon, I'm going to do 3 loops on either side, and I'm going to do them right at 5 inches. For your convenience, in the description box below is a detailed list of all the tools and materials used in today's project. This list will not only tell you how much you're going to need, it will also let you know where I purchased the materials. Now I'm going to move to this beautiful snowman ribbon. Again, I'm going to measure my tails here at about 10 inches. If I decide I don't want the tails long, I can always trim them shorter, but I'm thinking long tails on this one. Pinch and twist. And with this ribbon, I'm going to measure my loops at 4 inches. So they're slightly smaller, and I'm going to do 2 loops on either side. And I'm going to go back to this really pretty silver ribbon. This time I'm only going to measure the tails at 8 inches. Pinch and twist. And I'm going to do 2 loops on either side at 4 inches. Now I cut a piece about 19 inches of my snowman ribbon. And I just want to take that and make a loop. I want my loop to be about 3 inches, but I need the ribbon to come over itself by at least an inch. So I just kind of lay it down, measure out 3 inches and pinch, and then scrunch it together. Okay, so I have a cut piece here, and at the bottom, the short cut piece should go down. I'm going to place this in the center. That's going to be my center loop, and it's going to give me an extra tail. Okay. Take a full length pipe cleaner, slide it down on one side underneath all the ribbon until you get next to the dowel rods. Pull it up on either side. I always like to pinch, and then I push down as far as I can on my ribbon so I can get it nice and snug, and then pinch right at the top. This helps me lift it right out, and it keeps everything stacked. Press down, cross over those pipe cleaners and pull them to the back. Get that really nice and snug and give it a couple twists. These pipe cleaners aren't going to be long enough to get it onto my wreath, so I just add another one, place it in the center, give a twist or two. Then take one of the short pipe cleaners and wrap it around one of the longer ones. You do that to both sides. Now that's fully secure, and you have plenty of pipe cleaner to get this onto your wreath. So I have a center loop, so I'll lift that up and then I hold it right in the middle. Keep the pipe cleaners in the back. This way I know I'm not going to pull too hard and pull out any of my loops, and I can then adjust, pull down all my tails, separate and open up my loops. Okay, so that's approximately what your bow should look like. I always do my final adjusting, and I'll trim my tails once I get it onto the wreath. But I really love those 3 ribbons together. They perfectly complement each other. Gives me that frosty feel that I'm looking for. So I'm going to place my sign in the center, but I want it over to one side so it kind of reaches the edge. I still want to see a little bit of the wreath on the side. And the reasoning is I want to put my bow up here, and I want half of the tails to come across this way, maybe a few to come forward, and then the rest to come down on this side. As my bow is nice and big. And this is why I don't trim my tails until I get it onto my wreath. So these will probably get cut a little shorter that come down towards the sign, whereas these that are longer are going to stay the length that they are. Now to get my sign and my bow attached, you just use the pipe cleaners or your floral wire. You separate your mesh once you find its position, and you feed that down through your mesh until you can get to your wire frame in the back. You attach it here to the wire frame, and you can attach it anywhere on that wire frame that you need to get your sign and bow to sit in the proper position. I have my bow and sign attached, and I'm very pleased. My sign's not going to go anywhere. Now normally I like to put all 4 sides down, but because this is metal, I'd either have to punch more holes in it, or you can also use a cable tie mount and attach those with E6000. But I think the wire is going to be plenty. Now there's only one more item I want to add to this wreath to finish off that frosty feel. And it's a package of these Christmas ornaments that you can get at Dollar Tree. I really like the snowflakes. Now we have blue snowflakes here on the sign, but I think the white looks very pretty against that light blue and white background. So I do have one full package of these, and I'm going to be attaching them using hot glue and Aleene's Original Tacky Glue. I absolutely love this glue if you want to put a wreath outside. It takes 24 to 48 hours to fully cure, but once this glue does, it is not going to fall off your wreath. I tried last year on some Christmas wreaths that I put out front. It got full wind, rain, sleet, everything, and nothing fell off those wreaths. I was highly impressed. I recommend this glue if you're going to put anything outside. So I'm just going to work with these for my placement. I want to place some here flat on top, and then I'm also going to go around and kind of open up on the sides and then tuck some in here on the sides. I really like that. So I'll put a couple around the sides and a couple on the top. Put some of Aleene's right in the center. Then I'm just going to add a few dabs of hot glue. The hot glue will hold it in place until Aleene's can fully set up. I like that very much. I'm going to add the rest of my snowflakes, and then I'll be back and show you the finished product. And there you go. I've added all of my snowflakes, and I'm so pleased. They were the perfect final addition for my Winter Fresh Flurries wreath.